Hello YouTube, Byron at Splitting Slices, and welcome to my 500 subscriber giveaway video, the instructional video that applies to 3 of the 4 giveaways. Today's video will show you how to safely set up, disassemble the shadow display case, remove the lower display base, set up your knife for display, and reinstall the box together so that you can wall mount and hang your display case. I appreciate you sticking with me. We will try to make this as fast as possible, but also provide the details for somebody who is not familiar with using tools and doing this type of work. Now, quickly, again, the display case is made from solid maple wood on all 4 sides. The backer is made from what's called medium density fiberboard, or MDF. It has been stained, glued into the overall frame solid, and then the final piece is the acrylic sheet, which makes up the see-through front of the box. It is slid into dados that are machined into the frame, but is loose so that it can be removed. Both sides wiped down, cleaned, dusted basically, and then reassembled into the case. So the only tool that you will need to do this work is what's called in America a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. Now there are a number 1, number 2, and a number 3 Phillips. You need the largest of the 3, the number 3. You want to use a hand screwdriver and not an automatic screw gun to remove or fasten the screws. This is because metal inserts have been installed in the frame base to hold this system together. If you apply too much pressure with a screw gun, you could possibly damage and ruin your frame box. So just use a hand screwdriver to do the work. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to show you how to remove these 2 screws and remove the display base from the box. Okay, the easiest way to do this work is to lay the box down on its back on a table that you can access easily the bottom of the box. Make it a little more comfortable, and you'll just simply take your screwdriver, place it in the screw, lightly unscrew the screw until it is loose, and you can pull it away from the bottom of the box. The screw is about 1 inch long and is a 1/4 inch 20 screw. We will go over to the other side, do the same thing. It doesn't take much effort, and when you go to put the screws back, you just want to hand tighten the screws into the bottom of the frame. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the screwdriver down. Now this should loosen the display base from the box. You should be able to pull it away from the bottom of the case and turn it upright. And now you can see that this display base is actually made of 2 different blocks of wood, with the top block of wood being screwed to the bottom frame piece, and a series of magnets have been installed into the top of the display base. It is those magnets that will help hold your knife upright when you go to install the overall system and finally hang your wall display up. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. We're going to go ahead and get one of the knives out and set it up for display, and then we will go back and do a final installation of the whole system. Stay tuned. All right, I have removed the Teddy Roosevelt Trapper from its box, and we are going to use this knife as the sample knife to install on our display base. Now again, this is a trapper, so there are 2 blades in this knife. Both blades rotate from the same side. Now this knife, neither blade has a half stop, so both of these blades will be under spring tension when you go to try to set this up for display. And honestly, this is probably going to be the most difficult of the 3 knives to set up. Now I actually set up the Stockman, which has half stops on the smaller blades. So that is a fairly easy knife to set up and install the stop pin for display. I showed that setup on the 3rd giveaway video. So if you win the Stockman, you may want to refer to that video if you need step-by-step instructions. But let's go ahead and do the Teddy Roosevelt. So what I would do is I would go ahead and open up the spay blade, and have that blade at a 90-degree angle or at a typical half-stop position for a traditional knife. And notice that at this position, it seems to go ahead and be fairly unpressurized by the spring. So this is a good safe position to push this knife and set it up for display. Now, with the knife set down on a desk or a table, what I would then do is grab your stop pin. This again is a mechanical shear pin. I would go ahead and carefully hold the base of the knife, open up the clip point blade, insert the safety pin, and then allow the blade to fall down onto the pin that is trapped now between the blade and the liners of the knife. And so you will end up with your display knife looking like this, with the clip point blade more or less at a 40 to 45 degree angle, and with your spade blade basically 90 degrees from the scales of the knife. And this would be, I would say, probably the best way to display this trapper. Now, what you'll want to do then is get the display case near your work surface, and you'll want to go ahead and take the knife and basically set it vertical right on top of the row of magnets. And I would just go ahead and center it on the magnets in such a way that it's more or less in the middle. You've split the difference, so to speak, on both sides of the display base with your knife. So this would be the way that I would go ahead and set up the knife and the display case in order to then assemble the whole system together. Now we're going to go ahead, pause the video. I'm going to get the rest of the display case and we will assemble it together. All right, let's go ahead and now assemble the top of the display box over the display base and knife, and then reassemble the screws. Now this is slightly tricky, but it's just going to take patience and time, but you will be able to do this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab the middle of the display case, and you're going to want to put your thumbs on the acrylic safety glass in front and push in. What that will do is when you pick up the box, it will keep the acrylic sheet from sliding out the bottom. You basically want to fix that in place as you lift up on the entire top of the box and assemble it over the knife and display base. So I'm going to go ahead and do both sides. I'm now going to go ahead and pick up the box, and I'm going to carefully and slowly lower the box over both the knife and the display base. And as I get down toward the bottom, I'm going to tilt the box so that one side of the box enters the display base frame, and both the acrylic sheet and the backer enter their appropriate dados in the base, and then lower the right half. That's all there is to it to align and reassemble the shadow box. Now what we're going to do is pause the video, and I'm going to show you the final two steps in reassembling the box. Stay tuned. All right, the final two steps are to basically relocate the shadow box so that each end of the box ends up hanging over your table. And this will allow you to get access to insert the screw up into the box, make a turn or two with your fingers to get it started, and then use your screwdriver to tighten each one separately. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to reach down and pick up the bottom of the box with my fingers so that I'm holding on to the display base at the bottom in order to move it. And I'm going to move the box so that basically 2 inches of each end of the box will stick out over the table. Now what this allows me to do is basically use one arm to hold the top of the box steady, and then taking a screw with the other hand, basically using my fingers to start the screw in the bottom of the box, then taking my screwdriver reaching up under the box and slowly tighten the screw. You just want to hand tighten it. Use your left hand to hold the top of the box while your right hand slowly tightens the screw. You just want it snug or finger tight. Do not crank down on it. There's no need to do that. Now, once you have the first screw installed, you want to pick up your box, again holding onto the bottom of the display, and you want to slowly move it, and if you have to do it in several steps, do that so you don't drop the box. And remember, this second side is still loose. You want to pick up the box and relocate the second side so that again it is about 2 inches hanging off the table edge. You can then again use your left hand to hold the top of the box, grab your second screw with the right hand, get the screw started, and then using your screwdriver, insert it into the screw. Using your left hand to hold the top of the box, slowly snug up the second screw until your base is fastened down. That is how you reinstall your shadow box with the knife inside it. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the final installation and go over a few other details so you know how to basically maintenance this box in the future. All right, welcome back. Well, we've got some final words to talk about the display case in order for you to basically be able to maintenance that, clean the glass, and possibly remove the tin sign if needed, and hang it up on your wall. So let's go ahead and get to that. Now, if you look right here at the top of the box, you can see 2 bolts that go through the back that have small, tiny nuts on them. There's actually 2 more at the bottom of the box. Those are the 4 nuts and bolts that hold the tin sign onto the frame. So if you'd ever have to remove the tin sign, want to clean it, just go ahead, remove these 4 nuts from the back, push the bolts through, and you can remove the tin sign. Pardon me, folks, had a frog caught in that old throat. So let's go ahead and continue. So on each box, I have fastened a leather strap in the center of the box. And that is fastened with a through bolt through the back of the box, and then has a hole at the top of the leather strap. You could use this strap to basically go ahead and locate a central screw or a nail in your wall. If you've got it in a stud, that would be preferred. The box again weighs a little over 8 pounds, so you're probably going to make sure you've hit a stud, or you have a plastic anchor with a screw going into your drywall to make sure this does not fall off or tear out your drywall. I will let you refer to any installation of wall-mounted objects using YouTube or a friend or expert. Now, if you don't want to hang it through the leather strap, what you could do, since the back of this box is inset, there's a tiny little ledge. So you could use a level, draw a line on your wall where you want to hang it, and then locate 2 nails along that level line that you've drawn on your wall. Install 2 nails or screws with anchors and set the edge of the box down onto those 2 nails. Either way, I think, is accepted and typical way you would hang a box such as this. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the box around. Now again, this is the box with the knife installed in it. Notice that we were able to put the box over the display base with the knife on it, with the shear pin installed properly to hold the second slanted blade upright. And there is enough clearance to do that. Again, you just have to be slow and patient when you are assembling the box over the display base. Well, folks, that's it. It's that simple, but it does take a little patience and a little time to do it right. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment, including the secret word, and I appreciate you supporting the channel. Good luck, and again, you will need to make sure you do comment and like this video if you want to win any of the 3 boxes. I would also confirm your subscription at this point, so click that subscribe button if you aren't and subscribe to the channel. It is mandatory to be a current subscriber when I award the box. So this is Byron from Splitting Slices saying split a slice with a friend soon. Good luck to everyone, and we will see you on the next video. Take care, everyone.